Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us for session 2 of Valoris Tantibus After Dark, entitled How Deep the Rabbit Hole Goes. So we'll start off with a little recap of the last session. The party was looking for one of their troop, one of their own, an acrobat by the name of Trixie. They were able to track her down. It seems she was the latest victim to Stitzko the Mincer. After definitely defeating his guards, solving his riddle, avoiding as much damage as possible, we find ourselves, the party, engaged with Stitzko. He's down for the count. No, he is not. As Sobe lunges his pike into Stitzko, he just smiles madly. And this is where we are going to pick up. What would you like to do? That does not hurt me.
Damn animal.
You, might need to stab him again, friend.
Damn you all. I will kill all of you. The city is mine.
Sobe, recommence with stabbing.
Alright.
Sobe, you jab your spear into him one more time. You get the pain that a normal man would feel would be unbearable, but Stitzko still stands. He grabs his right shoulder where the wound is. He starts eyeing over the party. Not a looker among you.
I take offense to that. I think there's some offense to go around.
If you're going to do it, just do it.
Alright, I'll stab him again, I guess.
Pike thrusts in for the third time. Stitzko half stands, half kneels, grabs the pike, looks you dead in the eye, and pulls it closer. I'll be seeing you in hell. And he stops breathing. His hand still clutched around the pike.
What kind of monster is this?
As he dies, I'll use Mantle of Shadows to capture his shadow.
A bit of deja vu is going to fall over the party, as though you've almost done these steps before. You see Kaladin and Vic open up the doorway. You see the dead girls. You, of course, do your mantle and get to work trying to decipher some information. Over the next hour, of course, Vic, we've already imparted that knowledge. As you guys prepare the bodies for incineration, Caspian does kind of a final rite. Sets them ablaze, sets their souls free.
I hope that where you're gonna go, she'll look after you all. Sorry you didn't get to see a lot of light while you were here on Earth with us.
To those around, it's almost as though the room lightens a little bit. The burden that was carried up, the acts that were carried out in this room, somehow dampen.
Looking at the way the city is going, perhaps it's better they die now than suffer through what's to come.
That's probably true.
Well, let's hope that we can make sure the city doesn't get too dark.
All right. And remind DM again what you guys did with Trixie. You brought her back to the circus, correct?
Yes.
Anything else that you guys wish to do here?
I was gonna take Stitsko's head and put it in my chest of preservings so I could speak with the dead on it later.
How big is this chest? He has a
give me
rather
just a
large
second, I can
noggin.
give you the dimension.
About a 34D.
It's 2.5 feet long, 1.5 feet wide, and 1 foot tall.
Yeah, no problem. It'll fill most of that container, but yes. It's mostly beard. All right, so we're going to travel forward in time a little bit. You guys, of course, spoke with the headmasters of the circus, relayed information. An individual from the clerisy had come to meet you all. But you guys are all greeted by one more visitor this evening. I'm going to throw a token out here. Give me 1 second.
Have we been given anything like a map or anything to look at?
A map?
Like, I only have my character sheet. Is that?
I'll share the one from before.
Oh, okay.
God, it's so big.
Stop spitting.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that way you can see his sexy tieflingness. Later that evening, as you guys are kind of winding down for the night, stop spitting it. So you guys are winding down for the evening. Oh God, where did it go?
I'm sorry.
That's it. It's
fell
a
in.
50 AP minus.
I was trying to resize my browser and it just grabbed him instead.
You're fine. A man comes kind of rapping at maybe the common area where you guys all are. And he's smoking a kind of a short cigar at this point. Very well dressed. Tiefling hat, suit, tie, overcoat. He kind of looks you all over. Good evening.
Greetings.
I know I have you all at a disadvantage. I know who you are, but you may not know who I am. My name is Consul Andrei Gershenko. It's come to my attention that you've taken care of some rats for us.
If you
Rat would be a compliment.
Yes,
Yeah,
quite.
you took the words right out of my mouth.
Do you know who he was working for? Or was he working alone?
Vic, were you able to get any extra information?
Not much, I'm afraid. Some discussion had happened between him and his colleagues over the source of the drugs, but it seems they were not, none of them were particularly well informed. Only words like doctor, professor, an accountant came up a few times, but no actual names.
He grabs the tuft there on his chin. Interesting. So, just low-level runners, it seems like.
Just as you said, rats in their maze content to play their cool little game.
I don't imagine anyone high up in this operation would be so enamored of their own product.
No, probably not, but at least the streets are a little safer. Now, know this. We let your little transgressions go by mostly unnoticed. Be careful not to fall victim to those that you're putting down. Or worse yet, become like them.
We will do our best to heed your warnings, Constable. Thank you.
Yes, quite. It is quite welcome. I'm sure we will meet again soon. Oh, and if you're looking for work, perhaps I could throw you a bone.
Well, you know us circus folks, we're always looking for some scraps to chew on.
Down on the corner of Tiger Street, there is a bar. I believe there's some activity happening in there. Probably just low-level thugs, but if you're so inclined. He tips his hat, takes a big puff of his cigar, kind of turns around, ashes it as he's walking away. Good evening.
To you as well.
Well, we can get some drinks, knock a few heads. Sounds like my kind of day.
Perhaps. What kind of warning do you think the constable would come himself to give lowly people like us?
Well, if this drug operation is as big as it seems to be, spreading throughout the city as it is, then perhaps he simply does not want us to interfere with his own operations.
I can see that, but all the more reason to take his bone with a bit of ginger. So, meta pigeon question. Did we still receive the missive from the clerisy member?
Yes, this would have happened post.
So we have that tip and a job
That
to
is-
hunt.
That is
the fugitive.
correct.
Well, my fellow weirdos, we do have a decision to make. Do you wish to visit a bar or hunt for a heretic?
Bars are always a good place to find information. Perhaps we could kill two birds with one stone.
You forget that you have a minor.
I don't think they're going to be checking age, especially if
Right. I'll take their needs out.
I'll be honest, Faye, I don't know that most big people can really tell your age.
That's a solid point.
Decisions.
It did sound like most of you wanted to indulge your alcoholism.
I feel like we at least deserve that much after what we went through.
All right. So Tiger Street sounds. As you guys kind of gather your things and start making your way, of course, Tiger Street is deep within the shadows, the Undercity. You can see all sorts of, again, there always seems to be something going on, but maybe either a little beneath you or no evidence, just kind of people skulking about, but nobody that's obviously robbing and looting on your way. and you guys will arrive at Tiger Street. As you guys are walking up to the bar, you can kind of hear a commotion going on inside. Sounds like there's a bit of a brouhaha happening as, let's throw some tokens down here. It should be unlocked. You guys can organize them. Again, as you guys kind of approach, a bit of a brouhaha that's going on inside. One small individual kind of gets thrown out to the streets. Their sword and shield kind of scatter about. Sorry, unlock tokens. Kind of scatter about. You see almost a small goblin in armor. He kind of looks up, gonna make direct eye contact with you, Phaley. Pick up his shield and go, I'm not paying for that yet, and runs back into the bar.
What did I do?
You don't think that was directed at you.
Oh, Phaley, you've made a friend.
See a short sword laying on the ground. In their haste, they seem to have dropped it.
I'll take it. I like shiny things.
Yoink. It is a short sword of rust.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Finest of blades.
Oh, look at that. Fate even smiled on you. If you give that back to him, you'll earn bonus friendship point.
Or I could just keep it.
The moral dilemma.
Yes, all this thought over a sword. What do you guys want to do? Again, it sounds like there's a brouhaha going on inside. You're going to wait it out. You're going to walk in.
I say we go check it out. Sounds like they're having fun without us.
That sounds like so bad.
I wouldn't mind venting my anger.
And I need to teach Phaley about proper manners.
All right. So as you guys head into the bar, you can see it's roughly about 3 on 4. The small goblin, and he's got a rather large companion, a big turtle, and, you know, a tabaxi. There's a couple humans, elf, and a dwarf. They're all kind of going at it. The people within the bar, the structure itself looks like it can house maybe 40, 50 people. You can see there's a bard on stage that was attempting to do some sort of act, has quickly picked up like a lute and is playing a very fast tune, almost in rhythm and concert with this brawl that's going on. You guys were wanting to interject?
So obey?
Well, sounds like fun. I say we go in.
All right. You don't know who's the perpetrator of this, but you're going to try to stop them all. Stop.
Sobe's gonna go in and just headbutt the nearest person that he can see.
Nice. I'm just going to throw some tokens out here for funsies.
This is all still happening in the same evening, right?
Yes, it is very late. As you guys, I imagine you guys are accustomed to sleeping in and kind of waking up midday, doing your thing, and then living the nightlife, so to speak.
And of course, who does circus performances during the day?
Indeed. All right, so I've kind of split them up into sides here. They're all just basically going at it here. Humans, tabaxi, elf, they're kind of two of them, two of the humans have kind of jumped up on the turtle's back, and they're trying to wrestle him to the ground, while the goblin is charging in against the tabaxi. The tabaxi's just too deft to allow the goblin to get close. And again, kind of like a human female and an elf woman here on the right. They're just kind of circling each other, just kind of slinging insults back and forth, neither one making the first move. Tell me about kind of how you guys go about this.
All right, I'll go first. Sobe's going to walk up to that tabaxi monk, just tap him on the shoulder,
Okay.
and then just headbutt him as
Awesome.
hard as he can.
That's awesome. So there's not going to be targets here, but just roll me like your unarmed attack.
Unarmed attack.
Are you proficient in martial?
I don't.
So no
probably
proficiency bonus.
No, so just a D20.
Yep, and then your strength. You just kind of have to add. As you kind of tap that tabaxi, they look up at you. What do you want? As you whack, just smack them upside the head. Oh! You can see that the two men who are wrestling on the turtle kind of look over at you, very surprised.
Let's have some fun.
Awesome. Sobe is being as Sobe do. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Caspian, this is like in the bar room, right?
Yeah, this is in the bar proper, so to speak. There's patrons around. Most of them are drinking and watching at this point. Very few are. They're reluctant to actually engage in the battle, especially when 5 other individuals kind of traipse in. A rather large man just runs up and starts headbutting people.
Caspian would have tried to kind of slink over and try and get to the bar, sit down, and try and find someone to explain what's going on.
Awesome. You walk up, kind of a barrel-chested a dwarf. What you drinking? Kind of spits in the glass.
Something clear with a different glass, if you please. But I wanted to ask, what's going on with the commotion?
Gambling dispute. At this point, somebody's kind of brought a bystander in and kind of threw them up against the bar. He kind of leans over, picks up a glass, kind of half full. There was another near human kind of sitting there, and he kind of picks it up so it's not spilled. He kind of smacks the person over the head with like a ladle that he had. They kind of, and he puts the drink back down. It's a Friday night.
Okay, better question. Who started it?
Does it matter?
I
don't know. Go ask that turtle.
The one that's being wrestled?
Yes.
All right.
As he pours your ale. I don't worry about small monetary things. I always assume you guys have a lifestyle built in.
Well, then I will sit and sip my drink, and I will cast the message cantrip to let Phaley know that the turtle knows what's going on.
Okay.
Having heard that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll let this be the DM's choice, but I'm just going to pick a target out, sneak behind them, just give them a rap in the back of the head, and then try to pin the blame on someone else.
Nice. So make me some sort of like a bluff roll. And we'll do 1, 2. All right, nice. So you kind of, DM's choice, this almost druidic looking person, You kind of walk up, do your thing. They look over at you for a moment and then quickly see somebody else. You want to start something too? Seems the fight is
I just,
escalating. Good
step
job.
out of the way and chuckle to myself.
Faylee, you were about to say something?
I was gonna go ahead and follow Sobe's lead after Caspian's little whisper.
Uh-huh.
And go head bonk the person fighting the turtle.
All right, make me a strength roll then. D20 plus your strength.
Sorry.
You're fine. Ooh, not very good. So you kind of rear back. I imagine you just let out a "Ah!" as you charge in. You hit the turtle kind of in his chest plate. You feel the contact of the boonk, but neither one of you really move. No, actually, you're kind of sent back just a few paces as you make contact with that turtle. The two gentlemen that are kind of hanging up tight go, "Yeah, get him!"
Probably not her smartest idea, but is she allowed to go in for seconds?
Yeah,
Because she would go in
this
for
is kind
second.
of round robin. Just to kind of describe to me what you guys are doing.
She'd re-aim and try to do it again.
You kind of run up, try to bonk the turtle. This time. Oh, a little hidden roll. You kind of bonk the turtle, and out of one of his kind of side plates, a couple coin drop to the floor. The two humans that are riding his back, after a moment, they kind of see the clank on the floor. "See, he's a cheater!"
She'll make sure her adult moral compass isn't looking and start scooping him up really quickly.
So this is going to go on for a while. Eventually, both sides are going to tire. At this point, the barkeep will kind of get up. "Well, now that you ladies got that sorted, how about you pay your tabs and get out?" They all kind of look at each other. "But no, I don't want to hear it." They all settle up, and some of them leave, some of them don't. The goblins group is going to remain. The turtle, Tabaxian, the turtle, the two Humes, and the female are going to skedat. Lively place.
Caspian will do his best to wave whoever's paying attention to him of his friends over to the bar with him.
So I was gonna head to the bar anyway, so he'll go.
Same here.
Okay. You guys all sit down, have a drink. The Tabaxian and group, they find a small table off into one of the corners and just start conversing.
Well, I'm not sure who won that, but you did great.
It's a great way to get the mood up.
You gonna need an ice pack when we get home, Sobe?
Nah, I'm gonna let this one ride out.
Okay. Barkeep kind of turns to your group. "Don't think I've seen you in here before."
A little more upper class than the ones that we normally go to.
"I know the place." Yeah. Oh, Pisswater.
Eh. Whatever gets you hammered for the least amount.
Oh no, that's the name of it.
Oh, is it really? God.
Boy, you must have had a lot to drink.
And you see how big he is. He is a bear to carry out of wherever he gets drunk in.
Well, I ain't carrying him. So, bunch of strangers show up, interlope in a fight. What the hell do you want?
Well, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned, I was just looking to vent some frustration, and an ongoing brawl seemed like the perfect opportunity to do so.
I am Mademoiselle Butterfly. Every other evening down at the Emporium. He makes a very bad joke. He kind of sticks out his belly and imitates a little flying.
I could see it. You must have great choreography.
Grandmother. Yeah, she was a dancer. So, he pours himself a bit of a drink and kind of... Why you here? Gets a serious look on his face.
Well, we were told that there was a couple skulls that needed cracked. Figured we'd kill two birds with one stone.
I'm told that this bar was recommended to us by a important friend.
Yes, I'm sure. There's only 3 reasons somebody comes here. It's fighting, and hospitality. Good drink.
How good of a drink?
Ugh. I keep some good stuff out back.
I'm always interested in a good drink.
Don't go holding out on us.
Just a matter of what kind of brand you want. It can get pricey.
The lady here has discerning tastes.
I see. That can be arranged. What do you want to know? I will give you a price.
Well, my preference is dwarven ale.
Yes, I heard about that one. But he was scum. That's old news. Word travels fast. One of his so-called henchmen came in here maybe half hour ago.
And what kind of amazing stories did that little bird tweet?
It's gonna cost you 1 Tantibinian moon. Is anybody familiar with how much that is?
Let's see, a moon is 50 gold?
That is correct.
That's a pricey coin you're asking for. I don't think you have currency exchange in this bar room.
No exchange. Take it or leave it.
Bailey will dump out the coins that she had just picked up from the ground, as if they'll...
Yes, you're about 48 short.
Oh.
Faley, where did you pick that up?
Where did you learn to count?
See, that's the work in progress.
Yes. I saw this one, yes. Got a ferocious spirit, yes.
Caspian will fish out the coin and hand it to him.
All right, now we're talking. Kind of takes it, bites it. Oh, that is nice. I will tell you everything that you want to know. So, one of, he kind of lowers his voice for just a second. Stitsko's men came in here about an hour ago. He was all sorts of concerned. I have his merchandise if you want it. He didn't know what to do with it, so I took it off his hands. Thought, who knows?
I was actually somewhat curious where he was stashing the stuff. That does answer that
Oh, it ain't
question,
here.
at least.
But we all do things for money. Now, where they get it, that's also another good story.
And how much is that one gonna cost us?
Oh, see, a smart one amongst the group. I bet you can count to 47.
I lose patience after.
47.
He kind of looks over at the goblin. Yes, that's quite good. Had you been closer, you imagine you would get the head pat. I give you this one on the house. Since you kind of broke up that fight, there wasn't a lot of damage this time. So, I heard they took up residents in Maldark's old stomping grounds. Over by the aqueducts. But this rumor,
Those would only be recently vacated, I believe.
so it goes,
Rats work quickly.
that they do, my friend. The squeaky rat gets the cheese.
It does sound like we have somewhere to do our shopping then, doesn't it, friends?
Oh, you need shopping? You should go see Kiev.
Is this another cheesemonger?
He is very well connected. I'm surprised you do not know him. He has a shop, Zoblobs, over there at the merchant district, very close to administration. Be careful, his tongue is quite silvery.
Oh, I know the type.
I'm sure you do, lass.
Now, between you and me, they can be as silver or as gold as they want to be, but I want to know how it wags.
He kind of looks around the room. Go talk to Red over there.
And who would Red be?
He points to a woman with kind of scarlet hair. She's dressed up for these parts, so to speak, but revealing in all the right places.
I think my wordplay was lost.
It probably was on him.
Gotcha.
Now,
Not all
supposing-
barkeepers have wisdom of 47.
What were you saying, Vic?
Oh, I was gonna say, supposing I didn't actually want the usual with Dwarven Ale, and I felt the urge to try something a little more foreign, perhaps a drink not looked kindly upon in these parts.
Where do they hail from?
Perhaps the Far East?
Far East. He kind of looks at you for a while. Oh. Yeah, I heard about them. Small band of, I don't know, do-gooders, really. They've been romping, stomping around the city. Word is they brought down Maldark, but yeah. If you're looking for them, I could probably find that information, but could take some time. Seems they're pretty well protected.
Turn to the others and say, well, it could be useful. Seems like they might have a bead on the other one we're looking.
I was going to say, of their group, there's one in particular that I think owes me a favor. One who doesn't like to show his neck very often, if you catch my meaning.
Oh, I know which one you mean. The heretic. It is an old mark. I hear that Clarisy is bringing it back. You know of this mark, yes?
You might say that I am familiar.
I might say you're bullshitting me. Make a bluff check. Out of character. DM knows you know nothing.
Yeah, tower or public?
A tower's more fun, in my opinion. So, again, with the kind of innuendo, most of the time he gets it, sometimes he doesn't, but yes, I think a little more padding, perhaps. 20 gold.
Well, luckily for you, I am here to teach my younger friend about proper financial management. So here you go.
I see. All right. He kind of looks around. He kind of barks orders to kind of a squat halfling. Watch the bar. We need to go in the back for a bit. He kind of pops open the that little bridgeway that they have oftentimes in bars. Come back. This is not for everyone's ears. He invites the entire party, FYI.
Could Faley have just walked under that before he lifted it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, definitely. So you guys head back into the back room. For all intents and purposes, it's pretty much just a storeroom. You see, dried meats. There is a bit of a like an ice box there. You'll see, sundries, food, drink. He kind of sits back at a small kind of makeshift desk. He makes himself comfortable in the chair, kind of props his feet up on a bucket they probably use for mopping. Yeah, actually, there's the mop. All right. So, enough of the pretense. I will tell you what you know. But if word gets out that I told you, the Clarisy will probably track me down. But I like you guys. So, in the old days, when someone went against the Clarisy, they used to put a mark around their necks. Kind of looks like tattoo, but it is no ordinary tattoo. They say that it gives the Clarisy control, but that is not what I believe. I think it makes that poor unfortunate bastard forget things.
What kind of things?
Things that Clarisy doesn't want anyone else to know. You'll have to track him down. I don't know, but it's just gut feeling.
So our bashful friend, he's not with the foreigners anymore.
Last I heard, he went into hiding. I don't know. If you really want to keep tabs on them, as much as I love your coin, you need to speak to Kiev. His ears are part of the pavement.
Well, I do hope I do not step on them then.
Good luck. He's a tricksy bastard. Oh, did he say tricksy?
Oh, sad face. All of us just get a frowny at that.
What? I'm just saying he's sly.
Yeah, sly. No, we're used to that, right, guys?
As they're all silent.
Resounding yes.
What else can I do you for?
Well, not for nothing, but I wouldn't actually mind some dwarven ale if you have any.
Ah, yes, of course. That's going to tap you out for the evening, so to speak. As it is rather pricey. All right. Any other information gathering that you guys wish to do?
The little bird with the beard that came in here earlier. Do you know where he was heading?
It's hard to say. I'm sure he will probably find a hole.
Well, if he shows up again, flitters by, our ears might not be part of the pavement, but try and whisper towards him.
I know this. You guys always have a friend here at the Tiger's Paw.
Have to resist saying a joke there because I don't want to give away we're circus people.
Out of character, how well known are we in these parts?
So I don't think you guys are at the border of famous or infamous, but maybe you guys are kind of at that the top of the mountain, so to speak, where you're going to start to crest. We'll see.
Is everyone feeling content and pockets sufficiently lighter?
I think we've learned all we can here. I do admit, though, a itching curiosity to inquire with those other three about the thieving turtle.
You can certainly talk to them.
Indeed, and I do think you have something for him, Phaley.
What's that?
Oh, I don't know. What might you have mysteriously acquired this evening?
I didn't take anything from him. It was on the floor.
Yes, Mr. Floor's many various possessions.
What?
The fantasy equivalent of it fell off the back of a truck.
All right. So you guys want to approach the goblins gang?
Sure.
Pulling the goblin by the ear, yeah.
All right. So you pull your goblin over to their goblin. So they kind of look up the tabaxi. What do you want?
How's your head doing?
It will mend. Thank you, I guess. The goblin
Would you
kind
like
of
some
looks up
help
at you
with
guys. What do you guys want?
Caspian will kind of elbow Phaley in the back.
She'll head over.
What does
And-
small one want?
Begrudgingly, she will head over and hand them some of the money she picked off.
Huh. That is nice, but why?
Because it doesn't belong to me.
Thank you. That turtle's cheater.
Yes, we wanted to ask about that as well. Is that a common occurrence here?
Yes, there's lots of fighting, lots of gambling, lots of cheating.
I meant with him in particular.
Yeah, every now and then we... He kind of looks over at Sobe. Bump heads. Looks back at the Tabaxi and... The Tabaxi is none too pleased.
Sobe's gonna grin at the Tabaxi.
One day rematch.
Looking forward to it.
Aye, you know where to find me.
Would you like some help with that headache in the meantime?
No, I'll manage.
Very well.
Well, do try to keep your heads down and don't get into too much more trouble.
We appreciate it. The kind of the druidic woman there's been very quiet. Why do you help us?
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but certainly it seemed as though you were on the right and proper side of things, at least this time.
Yes, this time. But what can we do? We're often looked down upon as freaks.
How so?
I mean, look at us. We don't belong here.
Cough, cough. Caspian will look at all of us.
I think you belong wherever you want to be.
Now, thank you for
If there is one positive thing to be said about this city, even in the state it's in now, it's anyone can make their home here.
This is true, but it is trying times in the city. Much chaos. I do not like it.
Have you been facing a lot of problems recently over your appearance more so than usual?
Yes and no. I hear the rumors. Young girls being taken. Young men too. I do not like this.
Well, we've heard about the women and may be able to reassure you on that front, but I don't believe we've heard anything about men going missing.
Yes. It happened. Started happening about a few days ago. Young, well-to-do people, not down here in the shadows, mind you, but up above. I hear some prominent merchants have been going missing.
Sounds like bad money is involved then.
Don't even get me started about the robberies. You heard about that Goliath of a man smashing into buildings?
A Goliath?
Yes, a Goliath. They say he stands 4 times the height of a normal man. The goblin speaks up. I heard it was 6, Tabaxi, and at least 3 is wide.
I mean, it would be 6 times for us.
Where has this giant been?
I heard over at the administration area. They say in the early mornings you can see him prowling the rooftops.
Well, he's rather adroit for his size, then, is he not?
It is all rumor. The druid will speak up. Is it? Too many people have seen him. The goblin. I don't know, but if I had my sword, I'd run him through.
Another elbow is placed to Bailey's back.
Oh. Yeah, about that. I think I found it.
What do you mean, think?
I mean, it was also on the ground and I took it.
Then give it back.
I'm gonna charge you a holding fee. Give me some of my money back.
Here. Here's twice as much.
Okay, thank you.
Insight check. Roll it. You see the dice tower? Looks like you drop it in that bucket. It'll blind roll it.
Oh, wow. I've never done that.
Okay. So the goblin starts handing out coins. To those who are watching, it is far less coins than what the goblin received, yet twice as much. Thank you so much for keeping care of it. We are friends forever.
Thank you. She'll snatch up the money and take off behind her friends.
Okay.
Now, is that any way to treat an innocent child?
The tabaxi says, we can't get rid of him.
Lots of innocence going on in here.
Yes, quite.
Well, as I said, try not to let the times get you down too much.
We will do our best. Thank you. And they kind of go back to their thing, the obvious social kind of ending of the conversation. All right, so you guys picked up, I don't know what, 5, 6 leads? Good times.
Yep.
Welcome to Tantibus. So, it is getting very late in the evening. Do you guys wish to do anything else before you bed down?
More drinks.
Sobe wants to stay.
Can we get that in a to-go cup?
Can we get a keg?
They're going to charge you for it.
I want this. How much?
I'm sure it's probably in the items tab somewhere. We'll look it up. I mean, it's non-consequential. What
Out
else?
of character, for what it's worth, I do have a tankard of plenty that lets me have a free drink of alcohol 3 times.
Awesome.
I think that was it for our group activities for the evening.
Okay. So you guys go back home. No more interruptions this evening. You guys bed down, wake up, do your thing. What do you plan to do this day? As there's a lot of leads that you guys could potentially track down.
Did anybody have any immediate preferences?
Well, there seems to be a giant wandering the streets. That sounds interesting to me.
You just want to butt his head, don't you?
I do. You know me too well.
Head boop.
I think a boop would be putting it mildly.
And I can't say that I am not extremely interested in meeting these foreigners.
Yes, it does seem we have quite a few dangling threads before us.
Sorry, I'm spacing a bit. Was the giant prowling at night or at morning?
They again, it's don't take everything for face value. These are what people have been witnessing, what they've seen, what they've heard. So all the stories might not be 100% accurate, but they said that let me start a note section here. So let's see, adventure threads, and I will make that public. So if you guys go and click on your notes tab, you should now see something entitled adventure thread, and everybody can write in it if they wish. So giant man.
Where's the notes tab?
On the right hand side.
You might not have it. If you go to your library, you can pick which tabs are on your right bar.
Okay, found it.
So this isn't like a shared document. This is per person.
It should be shared. Should be public.
I don't think I can write on it.
Oh, I think. Hold on. Try it now.
Oh, yeah, I can see that written on there.
Can you write on it?
Can't see anything. There you go.
I cannot write on it.
Yeah, it's marked as read only.
Oh, well, that's lame. Okay, so let's do this. I will be the stenographer or whatever. So we've got the giant man lurking streets and early mornings. Hashtag rooftops. What else?
There's the drug storage area down by God, I can't remember his name, where his old hideout was.
Maldark.
In
There you
the
go.
aqueducts.
I'm sure we won't have to remember his name. It'll never come up again.
Probably not ever.
There's also Kiev's shop. He is a good lead for anything to do with the foreign.
Okay, inform it. Okay.
And there's prominent merchants, young men going missing around the merchant district, I assume.
I think it was the upper echelons.
Okay.
And when we find our quarry, he might know things that the clerisy doesn't want other people to know.
Okay, so Sao. All right, anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, I've reshared it with all of you.
Well, as this would be like first thing in the morning, and Sobe wants another headbutt, do we want to go hunting giant?
Sure. And also, let me roll for my crystal recharge. Nice. Full charge.
Nice.
Was that a group yes, or was there other things we wanted to do?
No answer.
They do not want to talk about it. Quit bringing it up.
I need group consensus on my life.
I will say, if we want to go to Kiev, I do know him from previous encounters.
Well, why didn't you speak up earlier, you dumb broad?
Some information is kept out of mixed company.
Well, anytime you're in a room with me, you're in mixed company, so go ahead and spit it out. I'm a half elf if the joke didn't land.
It's funny because he's biracial.
I don't get it.
I'm every racial.
You're omnipresent.
Omniracial.
Goodness. All right, so
There is nothing you can say about anybody that won't offend me.
well, let's do this. Let's take about a 15-minute break. We're pretty much the halfway point here. When you guys get back, you guys can chit chat on voice in Discord. Maybe come up with a plan of attack. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Yep.
See you guys here in about 15. So at about 10:40.
PC gamers.
What up? I'm back.
Welcome back.
You know, Bethesda did the exact same thing in that conference, but nobody got mad at Bethesda because they at least had a stupid little 5-second video announcing that they were working on Elder Scrolls 6. Diablo didn't even do that.
It was an easily mitigated mistake on their part.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, not one. They teased 2 upcoming real games.
Although I don't think, even with Diablo Immortals, that I will ever be as disappointed as I was with the Command & Conquer mobile game.
Thanks, EA.
You know, like that was like hammering the gravestone into the dirt on that series.
All right.
So, you guys giving it any thought?
It sounded like giant hunting with an afternoon tea at Joel Blob's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys want to go see Kiev?
That was something, right, that I heard?
Yeah.
And check for the giant in the rooftops first, and if nothing turns up, we'll head to Kiev's.
All right. So you guys wake up a little earlier, I think, than normal. Kind of brush off your hangovers and make your way out towards that side of town. Now, in the administrative district, you've got a lot of banks and quote-unquote governmental type offices over there, and it's really going to stand out. You see the side of one of the more prominent banks there in the city proper. A giant hole has just kind of ripped through the side. It is roughly 17 foot by 20 foot. Just this large gap where wall is now missing. You can see some of the Merkava, the City Watch patrol, kind of walking by. They do notice you as you guys stroll up, but you're still at some distance. They haven't approached you or anything like that.
All right. Sobe's going to approach them.
Okay.
He's going to ask, what happened here?
It is nothing, one of them says. The other one kind of goes, what, like, kind of scrunches his face up. Just some minor damage.
Minor.
We have eyes, you know.
The other guard starts snickering. Yeah, I don't think they're going to buy that. You know our orders. Yes, I know.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that looks like one hell of a withdrawal fee.
Yes. They say some madman tore through the side, but that can't be possible. Black powder had to be, or one of them's like, well, pythons and horses. No, you idiot, horses can't do that. They kind of half argue to each other. They come to the consensus that it was a large man with explosives riding horses.
Or sentient horses with explosives.
They're kind of,
Riding
yes,
them.
no, definitely not that. That's crazy. But yeah, again,
What if it was 100 tiny men riding one giant horse?
do not mock us. Why are you here?
We heard rumors of giant men wandering the street.
As you
Came
can
to look
see,
into that.
the other one turns. His mom's been talking about me. They kind of snicker. Shut up, and he smacks the other guy. We don't know. We were just posted here, but rumor is there's, again, a giant man. No one is, at least I haven't seen such a thing. It is not possible.
I see giant men all the time.
Yes, I'm sure you do. Anyways, the bank is closed for business. You'll have to take your business affairs somewhere else.
You said that people said that they saw a man charged. They around anywhere?
Where did they say that they were from? He points over to a small building. One of the receptionists said she had to run an errand early in the morning. She's our eyewitness. If you want to find out more, I suggest go speak to her. She has very deep brown hair. You'll know her when you see her.
Much appreciated, boys.
Yes. Good day to you. Good day to you all.
I don't suppose I could convince you to let me inspect the damage. You can keep an eye on me the entire time, and if I do find anything, you're welcome to take credit for it.
I'm afraid not. That would be against the protocol.
Fair enough.
I'm sure things will calm down after a while.
I'll keep a sharp eye out. Can't be too many holes for a giant man to hide down on.
Okay, kitty. Anyways. Yes, good day. Good day to you all.
Out of curiosity, I would imagine even from this distance, it should be at least obvious whether the wall was destroyed from the outside in or the inside.
It was the bricks and debris, stone is all pushed outward. Good question.
So it definitely happened from the inside.
So it appears.
Good to know.
Maybe the man can change size. Slipped in tiny, came out big.
That's cheating.
You're cheating.
If you slip in tiny, then why not slip out tiny and leave no trace of the crime? This seems a rather backwards way of doing things if you want to get away with it.
True, but what if the goal wasn't to get away with it?
So there's a tiny man running around becoming a big man.
It's Tantibus. There are crazier things.
You guys did see all these quote-unquote gods battle above an archway maybe 5 nights earlier.
You have a point.
Who
If
here
I
has
may
a passive
suggest a
perception
slightly-
14 or higher?
Say what? Sorry?
Passive perception 14 or higher.
That would be me.
Okay, Kaladin, you will notice this. And if anybody else has a 14 or higher, or if Kaladin shares, as you guys are kind of, again, kind of inspecting the damage, you kind of take a glance at a building pretty close, not quite adjacent. You see these large, almost 3-foot impacts running up the side of that building. The building itself is about 2 or 3 stories tall.
Yeah, I'll point out to the group and be like, see that over there on the building?
Looks
Well,
like
they
large
did
chunks
say-
are missing. Sorry, go ahead.
They did say something was jumping across the rooftops. It could be these were the handholds it made on the way up.
Or Bigfoot's found Tantibus.
Maybe something came down from the mountains.
Yeah. You said these are like on the side of the building?
Yes. So it looks like, again, like 3 foot, roughly circular, like chunks are missing out of the building, spaced maybe 7-8 foot apart. Handholds was at least maybe a good guess.
So something big really did try to climb up these buildings.
Is that area still being guarded or supervised?
You don't notice the Merkava around there.
Can I get in and kind of look at these holes?
Yeah. As you guys kind of approach over and inspect, you can see, again, it's like it's not brick. Bricks are much too small, but like stone block is the construction, and every so often you can see either an entire stone is missing, part of a stone, or sometimes several of them are missing. And it scales all the way up to the top. You can see kind of that crenulated lip there at the top. Part of it has been broken away, though you don't see the debris down on the ground.
I wanted to look as someone familiar with fire, like if I just finger the edges of these holes. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Nice.
Phrase? Are we not doing phrasing?
Phrasing.
Is that not a thing anymore? Anyways, so you kind of put your hand in there to feel. You don't get any sense of like lingering soot or ash or anything like that.
Right. So it looks like it broke. It didn't burn, acid. It just shot.
Broke would probably be the closest estimation that you could come up with, yes.
I'm going to reach into my bag, pull out my broom of flying, and say, I'll be back in a hop, skip, and a jump, and float up towards the rooftops and see if there seems to be any tracks left behind.
All right, so the most important question is, do you ride it side saddle when you're female, Vic?
Oh, absolutely, I do.
That's so funny. So you see Vic pull out the broom and whoosh up to the top of the roof line there. And, oh, that's where that missing debris is. It's been knocked inwards. You can make an investigation
sure,
check.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. In the bucket, please.
Okay, and I do make those with advantage thanks to that crystal that also lets me
So
speak
you
with
can
dead.
click that little advantage button and then drop it in the bucket. All right. Okay. So as you kind of take a look around, shuffle through some of the debris up there, you find some coin. Not a lot of it.
Interesting.
But it's kind of scattered along the rooftop. Every so often, you'll see just a little bit of coin.
Does it seem like there's enough of it that I'm finding that it could be a trail to follow?
Not enough for a trail, but close to where the rooftop meets the sidewall, you'll see kind of a small pile of coin that's been kind of covered up by debris and then kind of scattered throughout the rest of the rooftop. You'll see an odd coin here or there. Towards the very end of the rooftop, you see no more coin.
Would I be able to at least use that to get a heading?
Yeah, it looks like it was headed, so not in an easterly direction completely, kind of northeast more towards the mountainside. And the only thing that's really over there besides obviously residential homes would be the lift that would take you to the noble quarters.
I'll head back down and inform the others of my findings.
Okay.
It seems like our bank robbers found a way to get where they were going quickly.
What puzzles me is the residential quarters, while certainly not as hoity-toity, so to speak, as the noble quarter, is hardly poor off, so if this person was heading back to their home, it seems like they may have reasons other than acquiring coin for these actions.
I mean, I steal for fun.
Precisely my point.
We do need to keep in mind that we were told there's other strange things happening in a... Oh, wait, hold on. Merchants District is not the same as Noble District?
It is not the same.
So, like, the boys that were going missing are not where that lift is.
If they were in the merchant district, then no. Pretty much once you ride that lift way high in the mountains, it is nothing but estates and manors. The bourgeois.
Gotcha, okay.
Well, we know which way it was heading. We don't know what it is we're looking for.
Well, there was still the eyewitness we can talk to.
Now we have some details we can maybe press her about.
Let's go find her then.
All right. So you guys head over towards the building that the Markava were gracious enough to kind of give you a breadcrumb trail or that or just to get you to go away. You enter in the building and kind of in the reception area, it appears to be another bank. You do see indeed the woman that you were looking for. She's dressed prim and proper, business attire, her hair kind of pulled back very neatly, small earrings in her ears. Very, very well dressed, especially kind of in a business sort of atmosphere. The person she's talking to does not look as much. So think of like an overcloak with the hood pulled back. You can see very kind of short hair, but kind of cropped off to one side. Definitely some sort of humanoid, obviously, but looks to be human, maybe half elf. It's hard to tell. Again, it would be a normal cloak, except for the sleeves have been completely cut off, so it's almost forming a little bit of a triangle. However, they are wearing very long, like arm sleeves, very kind of tight-fitting pants. You can see what looks like maybe a chain hanging off of one side. Strapped across their back, you see a longsword. And the woman behind the counter is doing her best to be as polite and courteous as possible, though there are some slight traces on her face that are giving her away a little bit. Now, the person speaking with her isn't rambunctious or anything like that, not raising their voice, but obviously their presence is having an effect on this woman. What do you do?
Well, my first instinct at this very strange encounter is to go ahead and use my Helm of Telepathy to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. Do they get any sort of saving throw?
They do not, but I only get surface thoughts.
Surface thoughts. All right. Can it affect more than one individual?
I can shift it between individuals, but only one at a time.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Where's the
start
focus?
with the half elf question mark.
Okay. So, surface thoughts. You're lying. Why are you lying? I know you don't want me here. Just tell me what I need, and I'll be gone.
Alright, and I'll switch over to the clerk.
Oh God, there's more of them. Please just go away. This is too much. Too much in one day.
I'll approach and say, "What seems to be the trouble?"
The woman, so let's mark these as woman A and B. That way it's easy. A, it was your initial target, the woman that saw things. B is the half elven woman that's kind of standing and talking with woman A. Woman B kind of turns to you, and Vic, you can instantly see the side of her face. It looks like something horrific had happened to her, but the skin has kind of regrown in parts and kind of filled in, but it's not perfect. Think of a very bad accident, and then they do like plastic surgery to try to recoup the human form, but it never turns out well. You can see that on her face. And who might you be? Woman B says.
Just a curious passerby. We have some business with the clerk here.
I see. Are you not familiar with the common queue?
Yeah, you were taking quite a while, my lady.
We both know that is bullshit. I've been here, what, 30 seconds since you've arrived?
30 seconds that important personages such as my friend here are not talking with the person they came here to talk to.
Fine. By all means, go ahead. I have all day. She walks over, sits down on one of kind of the plush, kind of padded armed chairs. Just sits down. Woman A. Who's going to approach first?
Me.
She kind of looks down at you. You and your friends, thank you. How can I help you, little master?
Do I need to go kick her ass?
No, it's quite all right. Nothing happens in broad daylight.
What was the
Failed
information
insight
she
check.
was seeking?
She was asking about what happened earlier today.
Then we have a common reason for coming here. I'm afraid for you.
Yeah, you can. She's not very good at hiding her facial expressions at this point. She kind of almost winces a bit. You're here for that too?
You must admit it's a very attention-drawing scene outside.
Yes. How can I help? You're not dressed like Merkava.
I should hope not. We're not Merkava.
She kind of looks confused. I don't understand. Why does everyone take so much interest in this?
My lady, there's a hole in the wall of the bank.
the hole is... I wouldn't be concerned about the hole. Only what manner of foul beast created it.
What manner of foul beast would that be?
I don't know. It looked like a man, but much larger. Hairy beast. Was wearing a top hat.
What?
That is a curious detail.
I don't know. I stepped outside for just a moment. I was going to leave. Silly me, I'm always forgetting things. I was going to run home quick, and the thing came bursting out the side. Large sack draped over its shoulders. It looks right at me. About this time, you hear a gentleman in the back kind of step out. Is everything all right out here? It's fine. Thank you. I was just helping some customers. It doesn't seem like that to me. What's your business here?
We just had some,
Go ahead.
we just had some questions.
I see. Does it have anything to do with a 439?
The what?
Yes, I thought not. Perhaps you should go. Take your friend over there with you.
Well, if you insist.
Yes, if you have any need of our professional skills, feel free to rejoin this establishment. But I do quite insist. Can't you see? You've nearly brought her to tears.
She was like that when we got here.
Perhaps, but not quite like this. I feel you're exasperating the situation.
You're right. We'll leave, but hey, clerk lady, don't worry too much, all right?
Thank you. I'll try not. I said good day.
Get rounding us all up and leave.
Okay. Anybody approaching woman B?
So I will.
She kind of looks up at you, and again, the left side of her face is pretty, it's disgusting, really. There's no other way around it. She looks at you. I'm not your type, handsome.
I wouldn't say that. You look like you have a story to tell.
No, you're probably right. I imagine you go port to port.
I get around.
It's sunny, by the way. I'll spell it for you all.
Sunny!
Nice to meet you, Sonny. My name is Sobe, and these are my companions.
Yes.
I am sorry to have stepped on your toes so firmly.
You can see her kind of digging the dirt out beneath her fingernails. You heard the man. We should leave. She kind of steps up, walks between the group and out the door. Before she leaves, she turns back. Are you coming?
If you insist.
She doesn't reply and kind of heads out the door.
As we're leaving, I'll use the Helm of Telepathy to just, because we're kind of being watched now, I'll just send a telepathic message to the clerk and just say, rest assured, we are working to rid the city of that beast, so you need not worry longer.
You see her kind of, oh God, where's that voice coming from?
She's gonna need therapy.
Oh, yeah.
Think we made it worse.
Oh, wait till you meet the therapist. But I get ahead of myself. Anyways, as you guys step outside, she draws a long, kind of slender cigarette, kind of taps it against the back of her hand, slides it in one of those, those like plastic type filters, slides it in her mouth, looks over at Sobe, doesn't light it yet. She doesn't have a lighter, perhaps.
Need help with that, hun?
Sobe's frantically looking in his pouches.
I'll prestidigitate it.
Come on.
As you guys all, the party explodes in fire as trying to impress NPC. No, so you guys kind of fumble around. Eventually, one of you light the end of it, and she. So, how do we do this?
Well, it seems we're both looking for the same thing.
Yes, but for many different reasons, I assume. What is yours?
Well, we heard the story of a giant man, and we came looking.
Yes, that seems completely reasonable.
Not sure how much more reasonable to get than the truth.
I like your candor. Yes, we will go with this. Unfortunately, I have not found much in the way of clues. What they say about this man, if you want to call him a man, is true. He stands nearly 20 feet tall.
Sobe's going to get visibly excited at the thought of.
Can't wait for Big Man to get his hands all over you. Gee.
You have no idea.
Awesome.
No.
We're fluid in this party. Anyways. I will find this man. I will put him down. If we work together, we work together. But I will be the one to bring him down. Justice. For Juliar.
For who?
Juliar. God of divine retribution.
Okay.
It's a lot of vindictiveness over a bank robber, dear.
To me, he is not a bank robber.
What is he then?
The stealer of lives. Destroyer of families. It looks like she wants to say more, but she stops and takes another drag.
Sounds like this is personal for you then.
It is.
We needn't pry further. Our goals are aligned.
Yes. Listen to this one.
Very well.
May I have your names? I was so kind to give you mine.
Well, if you want to look towards any pamphlet boards, you might find our names written in very bright and pretty letters.
Why is it always games with your type?
Oh, but I love games.
Yes, I'm sure. Just like this
the
one.
carnival ones are my favorite.
She looks at you, Vic. Don't think I don't know what you're doing. If I could be so kind to insist, do not do this again. If you have questions, just ask me.
was merely curious, and certainly rest assured that when it came to whatever it is that you do not want to talk about, I had no intention of prying. That's completely untoward.
There's old saying in Tantibus. Quandaries killed the tabaxi. Boo, what a terrible pun.
Well, if we are to hunt this giant together, what do you propose?
We need to find more clues. I don't know where this person lives. I don't know what he does. But I've been tracking him past few days across the city. Seems his MO is always the same. Wealth. Whether it be banks, or jewels, or art. He takes what he wants. And leaves everything crushed and bruised behind.
And he has taken lives before as well.
Yes. It was my family I speak of.
I gathered as much.
Well, if you had to spin the bottle on where you think you'd be going next, would you pick the residential district or the noble?
Neither. The nobles have so far remained unscathed. I do not know why. I'm sure there's a method to his madness. He seems to be focusing his attentions over here. I've got some old contacts in the Quarter of Salt. I will go speak with them. Perhaps maybe you can come up with something else. Reconvene?
Where should we meet then?
I know a good place. It is a little far, but many friends are there. Meet me at the Fuzzy Dragon.
Sounds homey.
It is good company.
We will be there.
All right. And she takes the last drag, takes the filter off. I don't know if you guys heard me there. She takes her last drag, takes the filter off, kind of stows it in one of her pockets, and heads off towards the port.
She was certainly an interesting sort.
I'm not much opposed to turning down the help of interesting sorts. Luckily for us, we were intending to already speak with an information broker this afternoon.
That is true.
Oh, we could keep looking at that, follow those tracks that were left behind.
Unfortunately, the
Thank you.
tracks seem to have stopped.
Yeah.
I do have a sneaking suspicion, but it feels almost silly to even name it out loud, but perhaps what we are looking at here is the work of a werebeast.
Another wild animal that needs to be put down then.
Someone that might conceal themselves in a humanoid form in the locations of their choice during the day, and at night, in order to make their escape, they transform and burst through the walls.
Not that I think there's anything unsound with your reasoning, but it doesn't explain how he was able to get inside of the bank vaults in the first place.
Well, we have not actually inspected the locations. Perhaps the bank vaults were just as brusquely broken into.
Very possible. Unfortunately, with the Merkavas being so tight-lipped.
Well, if need be, I might be able to make my way into that crime scene.
Running afoul of the law so early in the morning, my dear?
It's not a task I would undertake lightly, but I could if we need to.
I'm good distraction.
Oh, I would not need a distraction. I would merely don a convincing disguise.
Are you sure you don't need a distraction?
I think our friends really like making distractions.
I get that impression.
Well, far be it from me to deprive your curiosity, Vic.
Actually, I do have an idea that could work well with a distraction. If you two could manage to lure the Merkava agent we were speaking to earlier, I could quickly throw together a disguise to look something like him.
I think we can manage that.
Just lead him away out of the sight of the others, and I shall return to take his place.
You're not allowed to hurt him, Phaley.
I never said I would.
And I didn't say that you said you would, but I could feel your gears turning from over here.
Yes, we do not need him being found knocked unconscious and tied up in an alley.
Fine. I'll just go scream or something.
Sobe will defer to you, but try to keep her in check, please.
I don't need a babysitter.
You need a goblin sitter.
Lols.
Alright. Come on, little one. We have a distraction to go prepare.
All right.
Fine.
So the two Merkava, of course, they're just kind of sitting there talking, making sure nobody approaches, that sort of thing. What's the plan?
Well, we can attempt to fake a crime, such as an assault or a kidnapping, and lead them away.
Okay.
In the meantime, I will tuck into a alleyway and go through all the motions of pretending to make a convincing disguise while I just shift forms.
All right. So, Sobe and Phaley. Is that the plan you're going with?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So, what I want you both to do, or I want you both to roll performance and drop it in the bucket. Okay. So mechanically, I essentially gave you guys advantage here. We're going to go with the higher of the results. Describe
Which
to
is
me.
a 2.
Describe to me how you guys go about reenacting this plan of yours.
Well, I'm going to need Caspian's help for this.
What can I do for you, you big lug?
Alright. I'm going to need you and Phaley to start walking together. And I'm going to run up, and I'm going to grab Phaley and run off with her. I need you to make as big of a scene as you possibly can. Try and get these guards to follow.
I like where this is going. So, because of this well-concocted plan, I want to see what Caspian rolls as well. Also make me a performance. Drop it in the bucket at advantage.
Oh boy, this is a skill I'm really good at.
Okay. So, I can reveal results later if you guys so wish, but this is how I kind of see it going on, and we'll kind of cue you guys for each of the parts. You guys set it up. Phaley and Caspian are both kind of walking very directly in front of the Merkava. You know, just a gingerly stroll. They're talking, they're walking, and out of nowhere appears Sobe. He's just rushing headlong towards this group. What do you say? Do you do anything? Do you scream?
I'm just gonna say, you're coming with me!
Awesome. So he snatches the goblin up in his meaty paws, lifts up the goblin, and starts tearing away, kind of half pushing Caspian back, and start taking off like a bolt out of the street. Phaley, Caspian, do you guys say anything to add to this performance?
Phaley will just start screaming her head off
Awesome.
and gently pounding him on the back. Like she's trying to.
Just How about you, Casp?
Caspian will very much lean into the push and like fall into the muddy ground and help, help! He's stealing her. Another little girl is being stolen off the streets. Oh, where are the Merkava in these trying times?
One of them slaps the other. They're kind of on the chest as they both rush over. What's going on here? No, he's getting away. As they both kind of rush off. As you guys practically entertain for a living, this was mere child's play. They just took it hook, line, and sinker. Both of you collectively, we'll just go with the higher result from the first two. And Caspian, you both had 21s. So, totally righteous rolls.
Jesus.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Just
Fuck out of that.
pull the wool over the Merkava's eyes. They're just running in circles. Obviously, Sobe and Phaley, you're able to kind of go and reconvene with the group, giving Vic enough time to slip in. Vic, go ahead and make me a roll at advantage because of this fantastic scene.
And this is performance?
Yeah, you're using your disguise, correct?
Yes, and
Is there bluff in this? Deception you could also use, but they're both charisma based.
Yeah, I do have expertise in deception, so I prefer to use that.
Yeah, no problem. I could see it going either way, so to speak. Wow, this is crazy. So, you kind of slink in. How do you approach? Through the main door? Through the hole?
Yeah, I'd approach through the hole.
Okay. Here's the scene that has befallen you. You're going to slip in totally unnoticed. There are a few people that are working inside, kind of cleaning up the debris. You see a crew of about 3 gnomes and a dwarf. they are kind of scratching their head. You see all sorts of manner of pulley mechanisms that have been set up in the room. The large steel iron door for the bank vault has been lodged into one of the sides of the structure itself, and they're trying to winch and pull it free. They kind of glance over at you, don't give you any second thought. Inside, you can see that there are some bags of money, but there are several individuals, more Merkava inside, kind of watching, but they're trying to gather it up and kind of move it towards a cart to get it out of this area, you presume. So the size of that bank door, again, is incredibly large, about 10 by 10.
And it's been like Incredible Hulk, just shoved into the wall.
Oh yeah, it's encased in that wall. I mean, the impact of it several feet drove in. The steel at a glance, you're guessing it's probably maybe 3 inches thick. Estimation.
It's a very heavy door too.
Oh yes.
Aside from just large. First, I'll approach the construction crew and just kind of look at the door curiously and just say, "Have you tried lubing it up?"
You hear the dwarf, "Of course we tried lubing it up." And one of the dwarfs, "Have we tried lubing it up?" "Yeah, I think we have. Maybe we should lube it up." "Shut up, you all." "Yes, we've tried it."
Just putting my 2 cents in.
"Yes, thank you so much. Maybe you can come here and just pull it out. Maybe, I don't know, summon one of them large figures from the other night. Maybe they can just pull it out with their pinky."
If we could do that, we could solve a lot of problems around the city.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong about that. We'll make do, don't worry. You'll get back in time for dinner.
Well, I hope so. The wife's planning supper.
Huh. What's that like? One of the gnomes say.
Nothing too fancy, just the normal meat stews.
One of them's like, "Why would you marry a meat stew?" "His wife, you idiot! Back to work!"
Glad to see that Naz is cut from the same cloth.
Well, Naz also rolled on the insanity chart.
I guess I'll head over to the group that's working in the vault.
It's again, they're just kind of hired muscle. They're loading stuff up on a small cart. They're kind of wheeling it through. They can't take a lot at once because of how the steel door is embedded in. They kind of have to use a half cart and get it up underneath. And on the other side, it looks like there's a much larger cart that they'll presumably latch up horses to pull it out at some point when they're done. The Merkava are just kind of watching, making sure that nobody's stealing anything.
Does there seem to be any bank officials staying around?
You don't, at least not on this side that you see. You kind of look through the gap there. It's very difficult to see. You don't see any, but that doesn't mean there isn't somebody here.
I'll just pull one of them Merkava aside and ask where the manager is run off to.
I don't know. He said he'd be back soon. He had to go speak with an associate. I assume it's where the cargo is being transported to.
Got a bit of a interesting tip earlier, and I was curious. Do we have a inventory of everything that went missing?
I mean, it's all up to the bank manager.
Maybe I'll just poke around in his office. Maybe he left some paperwork behind.
One of them's gonna start to question that, but you can make me a deception check. It's gonna be versus his insight. All right. He questions you a little bit more. Well, aren't you supposed to be guarding outside? What do you say?
It's quiet enough out there. It's still early morning, and seems like everybody else is taking their business to the other banks in lieu of the obvious hole in the wall.
Maybe. I think maybe you should get back to your post.
Well, if you could pass the word along then. As I said, it's an interesting tip. I'd like to follow up on it.
Yeah, you can tell the captain when he gets here.
What's the holdup with him anyway?
I don't know. I mean, it's not like there's a lack of things to do.
And I'll nod and just wander back out.
Okay. The party will reconvene. You guys obviously away from the other Merkava are kind of running around trying to figure out what exactly is going down. But you guys aren't dumb. You stay clear of them and regroup.
So how did it go?
Well, I wasn't able to find a whole lot of information, but certainly it seems the hunch about the culprit destroying their way into the vault is correct. The entire door was ripped off its hinges and thrown into the wall.
Impressive.
I dare say if we do confront this villain up close and personal, we should be prepared for a fight.
So Bay's just gonna smile at that.
Probably the best news you've heard all day.
I must say, you're not only muscle, Sobe. That was an impressive performance.
Well, if you're gonna do something, might as well make sure all eyes are on you.
She'll elbow Caspian really hard.
What? Do you need something?
What about me?
Of course, we couldn't have done this without you, Faylee.
I know.
Yes,
Well, if-
another lost child being abducted in the streets.
Truly, these are trying times.
Everybody take a shot. All right, so what was next on the list? Kiev?
Yes.
All right. So I am going to share a wonderful map. Now this, I'll warn you, this map is very large.
Oh,
You guys arrive at the shop. It doesn't say Kiev's. It doesn't say anything about it being any sort of shop. Outside, you see the word Zolblobs. As you kind of look through, you can see all sorts of just strange and wondrous knickknacks. You do see a man there kind of behind the counter, but what really takes and grabs your attention, you know, those large bay kind of windows that like for like a seating room, a sunroom, that sort of thing, where it's just that couple set of windows that are just very large. Filling up that entire space is almost like a... Is it floating? You're not quite sure. Some sort of orb-like shape, and kind of dangling and zigging out the top are these kind of odd tendrils or tubes slightly kind of bending and curving, and small orbs kind of hanging off the top. Doesn't look like anybody else is inside.
So it's just us?
Anyone other than the purveyor of this establishment.
Gotcha.
Darn.
Oh my word, what is that?
All right, I'm going to share a token. So, whoever does that, I'm going to punch you in the face.
It wasn't me this time.
All right, it's locked. As you guys step through the threshold, that object in the mirror springs to life. It lights up. It starts wiggling and dancing. You can see the teeth, its toothy maw kind of opening and closing in a large central eye. And the man behind the counter looks at you. Oh, welcome to Kiev's. How can I help you?
Hello, Kiev.
Oh, I almost did not recognize you, old friend. How are you doing?
Good. I am well. As you can see, I'm with my companions here.
Any
How's
friend
business?
of yours is a friend of mine.
Good to know. How's business been?
Oh, I tell you, items are just flying off the shelves.
It's always good.
Life is good. Life is very good. But I imagine you're not here for mere trinkets. How can old Kiev help you?
We've been told that you may be able to find some information about some foreigners that have been traveling around.
Foreigners, you say? Where do they hail from? Down south? Rokugan? The answer is no.
No, not from there. I believe it was far east.
So it would be to the northwest from Dynast. But he kind of goes, oh, you hit me very close. And he kind of grabs his chest. Right, you know how to get to the heart of Kiev. Yes, I know this group that you speak of. May I inquire as to why you seek them?
We are looking for a particular individual that used to or still does travel with them.
Oh, I heard about their friend. Died he did. The tiefling? It was sad.
Tiefling? No, we were looking for the one who doesn't like to wear or go out without his scarf.
Oh, the quiet one. Yeah, never fit with that group, I thought. The others are very trendy, fashionable. But this one, very mysterious. I heard there's a bounty on him. Yes, Isao is the man you seek.
That would be the quarry.
Now, Kaladin, you know how these things are done. My eyes and ears aren't limitless, but I can put people on it, yes. I can find this man.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Yes, and I look forward to the favor that you will repay.
That is business as usual. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. And how about you? Can I interest you in any trinkets? He reaches over and grabs like this jar that's kind of got these tendrils sticking out of it. I'll sell it to you for a good price.
I will pass for today, but if my companions are interested.
Faylee, I doubt that is edible. You cannot buy it.
You're not my boss.
Who are you to say what the goblin can and cannot eat?
You know, can she eat it? Maybe. Will she? Not as long as I draw breath.
I guess. But take a look around the shop. See if anything tickles your fancy. And then we can come to prices. If you don't see something here, worry not. Kiev can get it. May take a little time, a little money, a little, he touches his arm, a little elbow grease, but Kiev can get it.
There is another matter we were looking into, and perhaps something that could be useful for you as well if we manage to resolve it.
Oh, look at you, tall glass of Tantibinian wine.
Oh, thank you very much.
Anyways, I
As a matter of
interrupted
fact,
you
it's-
twice now. Kiev is very sorry.
It is fine, it's fine.
Let the lady speak. All of you be quiet. I want to hear this. And he kind of puts
No.
his Hulk Hogan hands up to his ear.
Yes, as I was saying, it's a curious matter we're looking into that I believe you would like to see resolved as well. There are reports that many young, handsome merchants such as yourself have been going missing from this district.
I have. Rumor is they've been drained dry.
What does that mean? Drain dry.
It means when all your inside liquids become your outside liquids.
I hate outside liquids.
We all hate outside liquids, my friend.
You believe it may be the work of a vampire then, from the sound
No,
of things?
there's no vampire. That you would have to seek a little further up. Who you speak is Kasparov. They call him the Slasher.
And I take it these are the people he is slashing.
That is word on street, yes. He finds young, questionable men, lures them in, and he makes the motion of the knife across the throat.
Does he steal anything, or is it just cold-blooded murder?
It's hard to say the motivations of these unique individuals. He kind of fidgets around. Hey, can I interest you in a pocket watch?
What kind of time
That's
does
for
it keep?
Ruben.
God damn it.
Oh, this one? It is a very special piece. Very special piece. Kind of rubs the top of it. It, some say it has, magical powers. Powers to go back, fix small things.
Well, that certainly sounds useful.
Indeed.
I can't imagine it comes with any negative consequences now, does it?
What kind of shop do you take this for?
The kind that I want to shop in.
Look at that sign. That sign right there. What does it say? What does it say? It says 100% curse free. You have Zoblob's guarantee.
God damn it.
Oh, is that what those words mean? Okay.
Yes, little one.
Yes, but many strange figures roaming around the city these days. Slashers, drug dealers.
You guys aren't going to buy anything, are you? He kind of shakes his head.
I'm afraid we tagged along because Kale here said that you could do us a talkie.
Yes, but I think the time for free information has ended. You want more information? You work for Kiev. And he just smiles.
What do you have in mind, Chief?
There are certain things that Kiev would like to get his mitts upon. If you have the time, perhaps you could go acquire them for me.
How far out of our way are they gonna take us?
I didn't hear a no. And he smiles. Oh, not far, not far. Kiev, you see, he crafty. He find out something. He find another one of Maldark's secret lairs.
Yes, recently vacated rat nests, as we have been told.
I assume it's vacated.
Very
I would
well.
certainly hope so.
If not, that's where you come in. Maybe actually earn your information.
You've caught my interest. What say
And
the
if we
rest
should
of you?
happen to find anything else in this abandoned lair aside from the thing you're looking for, are they fair game?
All right. I see. We get to brass tacks. I propose we split it right down the middle. 70-30.
Is ours tax deductible?
I don't know. Maybe go speak with an accountant.
Remind me not to trust you to make me a sandwich.
What? It'll be curse-free. You in? I didn't hear a no.
Perhaps this, as a reach across the table. 70-30, but if we do run into any trouble that proves too difficult, we are free to raise our asking price appropriately, so long as we provide proof of what we encountered.
You reserve the right to renegotiate. I respect this. I respect this very much. It is agreed.
Very well. What is this rat nests you want us to look at?
Well, would you believe old Kiev if he does not have location yet? It is supposed to arrive tonight. I can make sure it falls in your hands.
Oh, they will be empty and waiting.
I see. Let me... He kind of goes over and shuffles through a few things, and he pulls out... It's a very thin, like, notebook, almost made of, like, vellum paper. It's leather-bound on the outside, but very thin, and he kind of tears one of the sheets out. Oh, this is almost like deja vu. And he kind of tosses the book there on the counter for anyone to pick up.
I'll grab it.
So, just like the old days. Sometimes Merkava, Bogatyr, it can cause some trouble, but we send messages in secret. You can also use this. Think of this as advanced payment towards employment. He's going to kind of describe the magical properties of this paper. Essentially, it is a book of message. There are 9 pages left. All you have to do is basically scribble your message on the paper, and it will start to form into an origami shape and then take off. too. It's all you have to do is think of the target, and the message will arrive to them. He has taken one of the parchments for himself.
That could prove very useful.
Yes, yes. Never let it be said that Kiev was not good man.
Oh, never, Kiev.
Maybe after a few drinks. Well, if you're not buying, you should go.
Yes, we will definitely do so.
Okay. Anything that you wish to take care of before message arrives, as it will arrive this evening?
We stopped to meet with Sunny.
Okay.
Before we left, could Caspian be the last one out of Zolblon?
I do not object.
Mr. Kiev.
Please, please, just Kiev.
Kiev, then. I know that you are going to help us more once we prove our loyalty, but as a favor for a sweet young half-elf, would you tell your foreign friends something for me?
I could probably do this, yes.
I don't know them, but I'd like to. But would you tell them that there's someone looking for them who wants the sun to shine again?
An interesting choice of words. I will make this happen. So, out of character, Rin, if you want to do an @ message at Ravenshade, type your message in the Discord chat. Kiev will make sure this is done. Thank you. He kind of looks at you. Caspian. And he smiles.
And that was all I wanted to do.
Okay. Sounds good. Sorry, my Discord was dying there a little bit if I cut out. All right, on to Sunny.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So we'll fast track a little bit. You guys arrive at the Fuzzy Dragon, and I think I have a map for this too. Yay! And I just have to find it real quick.
So many maps.
So little time. Oh, that's not it. Anyways, I'll find it here in the background. When you arrive... Oh, here. You might have to ignore some of the markers, but I'm going to go ahead and share it. Boop. Appears all the markers are good. Okay. You guys arrive at the Fuzzy Dragon. It is a much larger bar than the one that was down there, the Tiger's Paw down there in the shadows. This is in the city proper. It's modeled after the Yawning Portal, out of character, but lots of patrons in and out of the bar, full staff. Yeah, you will see Sunny. Sorry, I don't have a token for her. I totally spaced. But we will use if I can find it. There. Seated at the bar. Seems to be speaking with the purveyor here. There is, of course, music dancing, drinking, card playing, everything that you expect. No fighting, at least not tonight.
For now.
Till Sobag gets involved.
All right, Mr. Macho Man, you take the lead on her.
All right, so I will walk up to the bar.
You should have
Order a
control
beer.
of your token.
Sweet. Is that her down at the bottom there?
The question mark.
Yeah, okay. We'll scoot right next to her. Order a beer.
Okay.
You will turn to
Bartender
her.
looks at you, takes your order, kind of sizes you up. No trouble, okay?
We'll see how the night ends.
Fair enough.
So we will turn and look at Sunny and go, wait for us.
You guys are so slow.
Well, we had other appointments to make.
Okay, and what did you find out?
Well, unfortunately, not a whole lot.
She kind of dips
Gesture
her
the
finger
guys to
in the
come over.
glass and starts swirling.
How about you?
So, I went to the Quarter of Salt. I spoke with a few friends there, but not a whole lot panned out. So, I went to see an old friend. And let me tell you the story. It goes something like... All right, thanks for coming, guys.